I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his ass no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm
You're the prize always.
Say that one more time.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yes.
That's like his golden slogan for
forth between wanting partnership and then not knowing what's the best partner for me. And the worst part is the loneliness that...
So, Steven, Lori Harvey just got exposed for low-key throwing shade at Michael B. Jordan. And that's wild when you remember they broke up years ago. 4 years later, she's now back with Damson Idris, living a whole new life. So why is Michael still on their minds like that? Everybody already knows Michael B. Jordan just secured his first Oscar for Sinners, and the whole room was on their feet clapping like crazy. But while Hollywood was showing love, Steve and Lori were off to the side acting cold, and Lori didn't even show up to the Oscars at all.
that has ever come through that door to date any of the 4 daughters, they've all heard the same speech. Hey man, listen to me. This could last, this might not last.
That left Damson walking in solo, which already had people raising eyebrows. Now here's where it gets messy. Just weeks before the Oscars, some random guy shouted a racist slur at Michael on live TV, and Steve stayed completely silent. Not a word, nothing. And now people are starting to connect the dots. Turns out Lori allegedly gave Steve one clear rule. You are not allowed to be kind to Michael B. Jordan in public, for any reason. That's serious pressure. So while everyone else was celebrating Michael's huge win, Steve had to sit there quiet, holding it in because of his daughter's stance. And now it's bigger than just award season drama. People are looking at this like it's about basic respect, and the whole situation just feels off. When a black man gets hit with a racist slur on an international stage, you stand up for him. No questions asked. Unless, apparently, there's some personal grudge getting in the way. Because that's exactly what people are starting to think here.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to...
The entire industry had something to say about what happened. Celebrities, fans, everyone was speaking out. And Steve, silent. Which is strange because if you know him, he usually has plenty to say online and on air. But when it came to Michael, nothing but quiet. Now, insiders are saying there's tension behind the scenes. According to people close to the family, there's still bitterness lingering after the breakup. They're watching Michael's career level up in a major way while Lori keeps being linked to different high-profile men, and it's not going unnoticed. And then there's the incident everyone is still talking about. About a month ago, Michael B. Jordan and his Sinners co-star Delroy Lindo were presenting at the BAFTAs in London when someone in the crowd shouted a racist slur at them live. At first, people thought it might have been an unfortunate situation involving the individual, John Davidson, who has Tourette syndrome. But then more details came out, and that's when things started to look even worse. Reports claimed BAFTA organizers placed him near a live mic and still chose to keep that moment in the pre-recorded broadcast.
Yeah, mama, what's up? Y'all know how I feel about my mother and my father's here. Your pops, where you at? My dad came in from Ghana. He flew in from Ghana to be here. For believing in this dream, this vision of Ryan Coogler, and betting on the culture and betting on original ideas and original artistry. And you're an amazing, amazing person. I'm so honored to call you a collaborator and a friend, and you gave me the opportunity and space for me to be seen.
That means viewers at home saw the whole thing unfold, putting Michael and Delroy in an uncomfortable spotlight worldwide. And that decision has people seriously questioning the judgment behind the scenes. Delroy later shared that no one from the event checked on them afterward, which only made the situation feel colder and raised even more questions about how everything was handled. The Sinners cast was getting major love, and almost everyone in the industry showed support for Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, or spoke out about what happened at the BAFTAs. But Steve Harvey, still completely silent, and then the Oscars came around and made everything look even worse.
Staying here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, And to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home for supporting me over my career. I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me. So thank you for keep betting.
Michael B. Jordan stepped onto that stage and made history, winning Best Actor for Sinners, beating out heavy hitters like Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ethan Hawke. That's not small, that's a huge moment. You could see the emotion all over him. During his speech, he shouted out his mom and his dad, who flew all the way from Ghana just to support him. He gave love to Ryan Coogler, the director he's worked with on multiple films, and he took time to recognize the legends who came before him. The whole room felt it. People were tearing up, clapping, standing. It was one of those speeches that hits deep. And online, it exploded instantly. Clips went viral within minutes, timelines flooded with praise, and fans everywhere were celebrating this massive win. Everybody was talking about it, except Steve Harvey. Now, some might say maybe he just stays off social media, but that doesn't really add up. Steve has a podcast, a morning show, and multiple platforms where he regularly speaks on pop culture and trending topics. He's never been shy about sharing his opinions, and that's what makes this stand out even more. This is the same man who has commented on breakups that had nothing to do with him.
One of our exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your ex is my.
He's jumped into celebrity drama, given takes on situations across the industry. But when Michael B. Jordan has the biggest night of his career, there's nothing but silence. So people are starting to side-eye the timing, especially when you line it up with everything else that's happened. Suddenly, Steve has nothing to say, and that's where things take a sharp turn. Because now it's not just silence. There's a reason behind it. Reports say Steve has been keeping quiet because of his daughter, Lori. Allegedly, she told him he's not allowed to show any kind of public support toward Michael B. Jordan. And this didn't just come from nowhere. Steve himself hinted at it during an interview on the Pivot podcast. He shared a story about being at a basketball game and running into one of Lori's exes. He didn't say Michael's name directly, but the timing lines up perfectly with that viral moment where cameras caught them greeting each other. And that's when it got tense.
Boy, she be in my ass. I can't make no mistakes. I can't make sense. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too. I must hate him like we was dating.
According to Steve, after Lori saw that interaction, she told him straight up, he better not acknowledge that man again. That's a strict rule. Steve even explained it like this. If you date Lori and then become her ex, you're not just her ex, you're his ex too. Which means no greetings, no conversations, nothing in public. He went even further and said, if he's accidentally polite, Lori will confront him about it. So now, this isn't speculation anymore. It's coming straight from his own words. That paints a very clear picture. Steve is moving under direct pressure to keep his distance from Michael B. Jordan, all because of Lori's stance on the situation. But here's the real question people keep asking. What actually happened to make things this serious? Because for someone to block even a basic handshake, there has to be more to the story, right? That's where the rumors start creeping in. Back in June 2022, when Michael and Lori first split, anonymous tips started popping up all over gossip blogs, with sources making claims about what went down during their relationship. There were claims floating around that MBJ was allegedly talking to other women during the relationship. Not physical cheating, at least according to those rumors, but more like emotional involvement. Some anonymous sources even said he was FaceTiming a woman overseas almost daily, talking about future plans while still with Lori. Then another tip popped up saying MBJ allegedly slid into the DMs of a woman who resembled one of the Kardashians. That detail had people talking even more. And Lori seemed to add fuel to the situation when she posted a photo of a car bumper sticker that read, "Dump him." That had fans thinking she was confirming everything without directly saying it. But here's where things get shaky. Every single one of those claims came from anonymous sources. No names, no screenshots, no solid proof ever surfaced. Not one person came forward publicly to back any of it up. At the same time, more established reports were telling a completely different story. People magazine, which broke the breakup news, said Lori was actually the one who ended things because she wasn't ready to settle down. She was 25, focused on her career, and realized they weren't aligned on the future. Meanwhile, MBJ, at 35, was reportedly ready for something serious like marriage and long-term commitment. So now you've got two very different narratives. One filled with unverified rumors, and the other coming from more credible sources. At the end of the day, nobody outside that relationship knows the full truth. But what stands out here is the aftermath. Because whether those rumors were real or not, Steve Harvey now treating Michael B. Jordan like a complete no-go in public, like there's personal history there, says a lot. And it definitely explains why he's been so quiet during some of Michael's biggest moments. So when it comes to moments like the BAFTA incident or Michael B. Jordan winning that Oscar, Steve literally can't say anything positive without it turning into a problem at home. That's how serious this situation is starting to look. And sure, family comes first, everyone understands that. But at a certain point, people are looking at this like, is this really necessary or is it just petty? Because let's not forget, that basketball game moment. Steve and Michael were seen greeting each other, and it didn't look awkward at all. If anything, it looked like they were still on good terms even after the breakup. And that raises a big question. If Michael had actually done something terrible, would Steve really be that comfortable around him? Probably not. That moment alone has people doubting the whole narrative. Now fast forward, and suddenly Steve has to act like Michael doesn't exist, all because Lori said so. And to a lot of people watching, that doesn't come off as loyalty. It comes off as forced and a little immature. Some are even saying it makes Steve look like he's walking on eggshells, afraid to step out of line. And when you're ignoring major moments or staying silent on serious situations, people start to notice. The internet has definitely been talking. There are ongoing conversations about how Steve treats Lori compared to his other kids, with some saying she seems to have way more influence over him. And when you add a rule like, you must dislike my ex into the mix, it starts to feel less about respect and more about control. And that's why so many people are side-eyeing this whole situation. At the end of the day, a rule like that doesn't just reflect on the ex, it reflects on you too. It can come off like there's still unresolved feelings or some kind of bitterness that never really faded, even years later. So now people are split. Is Steve just standing by his daughter like a loyal father, or is he taking it too far and letting it affect how he moves in public? That's the real debate. And then there's the bigger mystery. What actually went down between Lori and Michael B. Jordan? Were those cheating rumors real, or were they just talk with no proof behind them? Because depending on what you believe, the whole situation hits very differently. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.